And the Tasman Mako NPC rugby team has a new head coach this season. Cornelius is the man. Gray's a former Marlborough Red Devils player. He coached the Marlborough Boys College team for several years and won the coveted Press Cup on one of those occasions. He's served as apprenticeship, all right, assistant Marco's coach in recent seasons. Gray, welcome to Absolutely Famous, and congratulations on being made head coach of Tasman.
Yeah, thanks. I'm actually co-head coach, so there's both myself and Dan Perrin. We're co-head coaching the team, so we're sharing the duties, which is nice. It's good.
Yeah, it's good. Yeah. So what sort of, who do you coach and who does Dan coach? Dan was a forward. Does he coach the forwards or?
Yeah. So Dan looks after the forward and the set piece, and I'm mainly around our team attack and help out with the back. So so we've only got our own little areas to look after, and it's enjoyable. We're enjoying working with each other.
Good. And your assistant coaches, I know James Marshall's one of them, and James is off to the Crusaders next season, which is exciting for him. Do you have anyone else on board with James?
Yeah, we have Hawani McDonald. So Hawani McDonald's looking after our defence coach, and helps out with a bit around the breakdown as well. So he's taking over the role that was previously filled by Shane Christie, who left at the end of last season.
Yeah, pretty exciting times for you, Gray. I mean, you've certainly done your apprenticeship, and how much has serving that fairly long apprenticeship held you in good stead?
Yeah, it has, and I think particularly coaching at that level that I was coaching, it's a pretty challenging role. That when you're first, particularly the one here at Marlborough, just with all the challenges it has around travel and fundraising, and I guess you talk about serving your apprenticeship. It's you pretty much got to be a jack of all trades there. So it's been a good grounding there, and learned some good lessons, and in many respects it's harder coaching at that level than what it is now. The pressure's probably not the same, but some real valuable lessons, and I'm forever grateful for having that time there to sort of cut my teeth and make mistakes and hopefully learn from them, make me a better coach in the future.
Yeah, well, as you say, at least at Marlborough Boys College you didn't have a whole lot of support, but certainly at Tasman you have, and you've the squad you've selected's a pretty useful looking one. You've got a lot of super rugby players here. Are you confident you can keep up this amazing record Tasman has in the NPC?
Yeah, we'll be doing everything we can to make sure we're there or thereabouts at the end. We're really fortunate to have the level of depth and experience that we do have, and it's probably a real credit to obviously the players themselves the last few years, but the coaches and stuff that have gone before us that have laid this platform. So the challenge for us is to keep them all in the park because rugby's becoming more and more a game of attrition. So we've got to make sure that we have that next layer of depth and next layer of talent coming up through too, because we know that at some stage during the season it's going to be tested. But very fortunate with not only the quality of the player on the field, but also the quality of the players we've got off the field. They're all pretty good men that I'm pretty proud to be looking after.
Yeah, of course, there's been good development of Marlborough and Nelson players who have funneled into the Tasman over the years, but also something that I really enjoyed watching is the development of coaches from within, and you're a classic example of that, and Dan Perrin to a slightly lesser extent as well.
Are you there?
Yep. Did you get that one?
Oh, sorry, you cut out there a bit, Johnny.
Sorry. Oh, okay. No, sorry about that. Yeah, I was just mentioning about the development of the coaches within Tasman, which is a really pleasing thing from me looking outside, and you're a classic example of that.
Yeah, sorry, yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. Sorry, mate. You keep cutting in and out. It's awesome. It's awesome that obviously I was given this opportunity a few years ago to get involved in the Mako, and I guess living in Melbourne for the time I have, and playing rugby here and raising a family here, obviously the region and stuff means a hell of a lot to myself, and I was really fortunate to be, for Andrew Goodman a few years ago to hit me up about getting involved in the team, and it's been awesome the last 3 years. And it's great. It's great that there's that pathway there, not only for players but for coaches as well. So pretty cool.
So where do you see the strength of this year's team, Gray? Is there one area you think you're really expecting to be strong?
I think we alluded to it before, but probably the leadership and the experience that we have within the group now, and the fact that we've got a lot of our boys exposed to Super Rugby. So I guess that overall knowledge of how to prepare and stuff, I think collectively we're probably in a pretty good space. I think, probably leadership. I really do believe that that experience is going to help us out. We've got a pretty strong pack that we've had for the last few years now, so we'll be looking to them to do what they've done for us. But we'll have to be a bit better because she's a different competition now with everybody in it. So we're going to have to keep on growing and keep on evolving to keep up to where we want to be.
Of course, you mentioned your leadership and the co-captains, Quentin Strange and Mitch Hunt. You're vastly experienced players, and Quentin was on the verge of the All Blacks a couple of seasons ago. So, he wears his heart on his sleeve for Tasman, doesn't he?
Yeah, they're both proud Nelson lads. So they're born and raised there, and they love the region and love coming back and playing for the Mako, and their leadership and their passion for the jerseys are pretty inspirational, and we lean a lot on those guys as well with their leadership. So they're two good Mako men. So good guys to work with.
Tell us about your two halfbacks. I don't know a lot about them.
Yeah, so we've got young Louis Chapman, he's been with us for Louis' third year now. So he was our starting halfback for probably half the season last year, and he's coming along all the time. And then our second halfback is a young fellow, Noah Hopeman, he was with New Zealand under 20s this year. So and he's recently just signed with the Crusaders for next year. So he's a promising young player who's got a bright future. So they're our two halfbacks, and then we've got a local lad, Graham Urquhart, who's Nelson College boy who went away and studied down in Dunedin, and now he's come back home. So and he's managed to grab that third halfback spot as well. So good blend. They're all pretty young, but excellent work ethics on all of them. So good crew to work with.
You got some pretty hardened campaigners in that front row there with the hookers, Andrew McAleo and Quinton McDonald, the 100-plus man. You must be pretty rapt about that.
Yeah, we're pretty blessed to have that experience and depth there and knowledge of those two guys. And then we've also got Sam Molly, who's obviously a Marlborough College boy who's just come back from playing with Tonga. So he has Super Rugby experience this year with Moana. So, really fortunate in that hooker space to have that depth and talent up front. And, those sorts of guys are invaluable in a campaign like this.
Yeah, it was great to have the Pacific teams in Super Rugby, and it's helped Tasman out, no doubt, because there's several players involved in both those teams, which is good for their development.
Absolutely. They've had the opportunity to live full-time professional life as opposed to, a guy like Sam, for example, on the tools for half the year and then having to sort of walk into their environment, and it's so much easier for those guys to just live and breathe being a rugby player, and hopefully we reap the benefits of that in a few weeks' time.
A couple of the Highlanders boys, one of them didn't play this season. Parry Parkinson was talked about as a potential All Black. I'm sure he still is. How's his injury situation, Gray?
Yeah, so his injury was pretty major. It was pretty much did everything he could possibly do to a knee, and it's a hell of a knee as well. He's a big man. So he's I think it was always a long-term injury. So we knew that his return to play, would be ambitious to be back this year. But we've really been impressed with how he's rehabbed while he was down at the Highlanders, and he's come back up here, despite the fact that he's not available for us at the start of the year, and he's back in Nelson and he's working hard, and the boys get a real kick out of seeing a guy like that on the sidelines doing the hard work, and he's a character in our team, and look, we've got our fingers crossed that he'll be available for us at some stage this year, but it's just good to see him rehabbing and working hard, because he's an exceptional player when he's playing for us.
And of course, Ethan Blackadder, he's out of All Black contention at the moment with injury too. Will Ethan be around the squad helping out in some way?
Yeah, Ethan will be around the squad. He's obviously busy. He's doing his rehab and stuff, having only just had surgery not so long ago. So, again, he's another guy, born and bred Nelson lad who loves the region, loves coming back into our environment, and just one of these guys who's always willing to contribute and help some of our younger players. So, we're certainly keen to tap into that leadership and that example that he sets within our team environment. Just another good marker man.
Imagine if he had 8 forwards playing like he does.
Yeah. Imagine if you had 15 players play like he does, it'd be a pretty easy team to coach, I can tell you that.
Yeah, would it ever? Another young fella I've been impressed with down at the Highlanders late in the season was Max Hicks. I think is he a lock flanker?
Yeah, Max. He's a lock come six, and he actually got selected for the New Zealand moulding and was down to play Ireland in the second test, but he got crooked the night before, which is a bit unfortunate. So he's another guy who's got a lot of promise, and didn't get too much game time down the Landers this year, probably just still learning the ropes. So if you're looking for a big NPC this year and push for a starting spot next year, no doubt.
Is there a couple of young fellas that, the outsiders, including myself, may not have heard of, who you're expecting big things from this year? A couple of young boys to look out for?
Think off the top of my head.
You mentioned the halfback, obviously Noah.
Yeah. So Noah's obviously a promising young kid who's obviously had rep honours. We've also got young Mako Springer, who another outside back who he had a couple of appearances for us last year at the back end of the season, but he's also just come back from the New Zealand 20s. He's a player of promise, outside back, wing, fullback. So another opportunity for him to push for a starting jersey for us, and he's got a lot of talent. And then there's another young guy in the back, Tane Robinson, who spent an off season down at the Crusaders training, and then come back and he's been playing club rugby here, and he's been probably one of the more dominant players in club rugby. So he's an exciting young guy too, who worked hard at his game, and hopefully he can kick on as well.
What's his position, Gray?
He's a utility back, predominantly a fullback, but he has the ability to play 10, 12 as well. So, they're pretty valuable, those guys, goal kicks. So, keep an eye out on him. Hopefully he gets some game time, stays injury free, and he can get some time on the park. Yeah,
nice to see David Havili's brother William play Super Rugby, and he's a versatile player too. Where do you see him playing this season?
Yeah, so Willie started for us a few times last year at fullback, particularly near the back of the season. But he's just come back from international duties with Tonga, where he's playing at 10. So prior to last year, he's playing all his club rugby or Kahurangi at 10. So he's a bit like his brother, really. Skillful, can cover 10 or 15, goal kicks, good left foot, and despite his size, he's brave and he's pretty tough in contact. So we'd look to use Willie probably in that 10-15 space.
Good stuff. And of course, the season kicks off, if I'm right, versus Southland, is it, on Sunday, August the 7th?
Yep, that's correct. But here in Birmingham, so hopefully a big crowd down at Lansdowne Park. Park's looking in awesome condition, and got the new sports hub down there, and so can't wait.
Oh, that's fantastic. Well, luckily for us Kiwis domiciled over here in Aussie, Gray, we get to see all the NPC live on TV, so I'll be really looking forward to it, and we wish you all the very best with Tasman, and
Thank you.
So I hope you enjoy the season, mate. Every success.
Oh, no, thank you very much. Appreciate it, and thanks very much for the wishes, and it's good chatting to you.
Cheers, great. Thank you.